Welcome back, guys. Mike here, Money, Marriage, and Media. And today we are back with the gentleman from Daily Wrap Up Crew. Today's topic is the dangers of trying to win a woman's heart. But you know how we can win? You know how we can win on YouTube with 600 subscribers? Let's go. Let's get it. We're going to go ahead and start the video. To preference this, none of these people are married. This is really a show about dating. But I think that dating, obviously, you have to build relationships with people before marriage, right? So that's why we're here. Let's go ahead and get the conversation going.
Getting into this first topic, it says, should men be willing to compete for women, and why do you think men are scared to compete for a woman? Because I think, just to put some context to it, I think there was a post I seen where a woman was like that once a guy sees that a woman has, other guys competing for her, they kind of like, all right, well, nah, I'm good on that. Like, they could have their fun. I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? So why do you think guys are discouraged from?
There's a couple of them. Men are territorial, and that direct competition. A lot of the reason why men avoid those situations is because wars have been fought for that. Like, men will kill each other. Literally, that's happened before. When we get to, like, men are territorial, and we know that there's a low level threat of violence, and there's only so much room that we can give each other before it's just we're gonna have to end up. So that's why a lot of times, hey, you know what? I need to back off because this ain't worth it. This woman is not worth it. Now that's obviously in you know what I'm saying, that's people who ain't married. You approach another man's wife like that, 9 times out of 10 he might have to kill you. Don't do it. That man would be you around a man's wife. That man is ready to dig 2 graves. Be careful with that. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you,
Competing for a woman.
Personally, I feel like men shouldn't have to compete for a woman. Just as how I feel as a woman, I shouldn't have to compete for a man.
That's just lazy. You're in competition, and because I already know where this is going, I'm gonna let it play out. But that is the okay.
So, like, strategically, the way I would move when it comes to, like, a guy, it's like, if I choose to vibe with you, you top tier. The competition will then be to keep me. That's what it is. Like,
You see why this is flawed already? If I choose you, well, how you gonna choose the guy? Well, she has standards. Okay, well, men have to compete to match those standards, right? See, this already doesn't make sense. What she's trying to make a case for is, I don't want to have to compete for a man. And the reason she's trying to justify it by saying, well, if I don't want to have to compete for a man, so a man shouldn't have to compete for me. Wrong. The competition's already happening. So you have standards, so men have to compete with each other to meet said standards. If you're really talking about no man should have to compete for me, then don't put any standards out there. Just be with anybody. Men will already know they don't have to compete for you, and right off the bat, every man will automatically lose respect for you. Because this is how you end up with. This is the mentality of that's the mentality of a 304. To sleep with anybody? Yeah, you ain't got no standards. Well, there you go. Do men respect 304s? No.
to get me, you lucky. But to keep me, that's the competition right there.
To get you, a man is lucky?
Yeah, because I would rather be by myself, honestly. I'm dead serious. Like, I'd rather be alone. Like, I don't need a man to do anything.
That don't sound like something worth
Look,
competing for. I ain't gonna hold you.
Chill.
and it's not. And see, she is again. You can tell by the way she looks. She has an immature attitude and virtually no understanding how the real world works. At this point, she sounds like somebody who's getting by on pretty privilege. Because we looked at the stats. We know that the average woman does not make enough to make it through the end of life. So this whole thing about I don't need a man, somebody's lying. Because again, the numbers say that's impossible. Unless you out here in the top 8% of women, you're making more than, it might be 10, but if you're making more than $75,000 a year, you have a shot at that. But most women don't make $50,000 a year. So this whole "I don't need a man" thing, that's no. You need two incomes. I don't know why we keep this. This is why we need nuclear families, because the only reason I'm almost willing to bet she comes from a single parent household, and because she's raised by a single mom who's doing everything, she inherits that mentality of I don't need a man because my mom is raising me and she didn't need a man. When in actuality she did, and she would have preferred to have one. She just didn't tell you that.
Chill. It's not even like that. It's not even like that. I'm just saying, like,
Your words are powerful. So if you're already leading off with saying that.
So why do you think that somebody would want to be with somebody that don't need them? Like,
No,
or,
I'm not saying.
I'd rather
that.
be by themselves.
Like,
No, that's not
I
what
would
she's
love.
saying.
She said
I'm
that
not
she'd rather
saying
be
it
by
like
herself.
that. I'm not.
No, she got caught up in trying to in saying some rhetoric about that I'm strong and independent, not realizing that on podcasts like this, they've heard that enough times to where they're starting to ask follow-up questions, and all of a sudden that that ideal starts to fall apart because it doesn't work.
I'm not saying it like that. She's saying if she knows first of all, I'm 110% confident I am a prize, period. So I feel like it's not so
I'm not even gonna pause it.
Like, to keep me. It's just like if I'm putting my energy, and it works vice versa. I'm not just saying for me, it's also for him. If I'm putting my energy into you because I want to fuck with you because I like you, and I'm taking the time out of like my life to spend time with you, whatever the case may be, then yeah, like you gotta try to fight to keep it. Like yeah.
So a man
it's
should
just
compete.
That's the competition in itself. I'm not gonna put a man. I'm not gonna put a man in a position where he's competing against other men for me. That's what I'm saying. If I'm choosing you, you top tier. But the competition.
Again, what do her standards say? Because that man has to meet her standards. That man literally has to compete against other men. That's just the way it works. So the competition starts after we get together. But how'd you choose that man then? Is he just anybody? No, he has standards. Okay, well then what she says doesn't really work. So yeah. We haven't even got to the part where she's saying the real competition starts with you have to keep me. That man just went and slayed the dragon out there just to get you. Now you're saying, okay.
And then becomes, all right, do you meet my standards like with keeping me? Because I'm pretty sure every man has a standard for a female, right? Y'all have, like, it's like school. To get into a class, you need, like, prerequisites. To get into that class, you need to pass with a certain grade, you know? Same thing like a relationship or somebody that ideally you would think of being with you.
But once you pass, you in that class, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that means
But you
you
said
won
that's when the real
competition. Feel me?
But then you
get what
said the competition is the relationship.
No, I'm talking about like during the talking stage.
Oh, during the talking stage.
Yeah, like when you getting to know somebody, then that's.
So you only talk, you in general, you only talk to one guy at a time in the dating stage?
Yes. Me personally, I can't do the two at the same time. Yeah. It's annoying.
You're not with the threesome, as you're saying.
Well, what's annoying about it though?
I just can't. I can't be two places at once. It's gonna
can't
piss
serve
me
two
off.
masters.
Like,
it's not enough time to focus and build a relationship.
I'm in a situation where I'm talking to multiple guys at the same time. Like, I tried it. I'm not gonna lie, I tried it before, and it pissed me off to the point where I'm like, you know what, cuz I can't do this. Like, it's I'm choosing between you and another man, and I can't do it. Like, my mind being too many places at once with what I do in my daily life, it's just too much. I can't.
I feel like women will get too involved with both men. You get what I'm saying? Like, I believe you guys can't separate the two guys. You guys will be happy what Johnny's doing for you today and what Matthew's doing. So they both making you happy. You wouldn't know how to choose.
That's a whole lie, bro.
I mean,
that's a whole lie, bro.
That's for me.
Women always got their favorite nigga, bro. That's a whole
Oh,
They do.
Yeah, I've dated multiple guys. Like earlier this year, I was dating like multiple people, but I just gravitated to one person more because that's just that's just natural.
Yeah.
I don't. It's too much work. I don't know how guys do it, but
most women would prefer to get everything from just one guy.
Someone else's emotions. Like and then when you're a female, and this is my definition of competition, a little different. Is like I feel like guys compete because when I'm dating multiple guys, I'm dating multiple guys. So you try to apply more pressure than the other guy if you really want the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had, like, one guy, like, he tried to take me, like, somewhere. And then the other guy, he's like, well, he's taking you on a trip. All right, well, I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? But then you also have guys that's like, well, fuck her. Like, I'm not. Then you had guys that just fell back for me. Like, oh, you giving him attention, then you don't need to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just too much work. Focus.
So, in that translation, these are average women. And they deal with average men. Shout out to them. Just because the average women don't like competing with each other. But if you want a higher status guy, you're going to have to compete with other women. This is where you get this whole... I'm starting to realize that when women talk about they are the prize, they are in an average relationship. So that should tell you where their standards are. Because anything above average, women don't become the prize. They lose all the leverage. So, guy, that's a big heads up right there. When you get a woman who says she is the prize, she's looking for an average man. I don't care what her standards are or what she tells you. If she is the prize, if she believes that, then you can't tell me that you're looking for a higher status guy. Because in those times, when you get to that, to play ball on that court, you're not the prize anymore. So, if you got a woman talking about she is the prize, she's looking for an average guy. That's what it is. I don't care I don't care. Her standards, that doesn't mean anything. If she still wants to be the prize, then that means you're looking for an average guy.
Said my emotions be everywhere. I really like you, but then I also like you. That's just too much. And then it's like, you don't want to get serious either. Like, I'm not ready to get serious. So the more pressure you're applying, because you feel like you're competing with another guy, it just kind of overwhelms me. That's how I feel. Like, I can't do multiple. No.
I'm just a firm believer in karma. It's like, that shit will weigh on my conscience heavy if I'm talking to multiple guys.
No, you just let them know. I let the guys know. I'm keeping my options open.
Yeah, that's true. Me personally, I'm not dating just to date. I'm dating for a purpose. Feel me? So it's like, it's kind of going to weigh on my conscience knowing that I'm dating for a purpose. And then it's just multiple guys.
Stay focused.
Do that. It's going to weigh on me.
But if you're dating for a purpose, right? And you got... You know how they say don't put all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
Because you dating that one person, and then further down the line, when y'all really get to know each other, you wasted your time because y'all not really compatible with each other. Rather than if you dated around a little bit, you might have a better chance of meeting the person that you like.
Yeah, it's a process of...
That's terrible advice. Terrible advice. Dating around doesn't do anything. I don't know where are these people that they get this advice from about dating around. You need to date around and figure out what's out there. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you need a better vetting process. Because the only thing that's going to happen when you dating around is you're going to find more guys to waste your time on. That's all that happens. You're adding more emotional baggage for your husband. Like how, because the way you attack that problem at the root is that all these dating experiences you got. How does that help? What value does that add to your future husband? Like, how is he gonna benefit from that? Translation: the answer is he doesn't. So why are you doing it? You just need to find out what it is that you want specifically, and you need to start the vetting process because you only got to get it right once. Start the vetting process so that you eliminate everybody that's not going to be your husband.
Elimination that could also be applied there too. So y'all never competed for a man before?
I feel like it's all about communication. So it's like, if you really like someone, you should tell them where they at, where they stand. And even if you talk to multiple other people, you tell them where they stand. So there's no competition. The only person who should be competing is really the ex if they want you back. The ex got to do way more than the new person coming in your life. You feel me? Because
I agree with
now
that.
they got to do. You feel me? They're the ones who.
If they the ex, if they the ex, how they still got a chance? There's a reason why they the ex.
They still be wanting the chance, but it's like
Well, one of the reasons that can happen is that if it's an ex from a long distance relationship. Like a lot of times that'll happen where, somebody will move, particularly in their age bracket, because, after college, people separate, you get a job that's 2 hours away. It's in my field. I went to school for this, spent thousands of dollars. Yeah, but now, the guy moves away, they break up, he ends up moving back, the stuff like that happens. Like I said, it's very specific to their age group. Once you get a little bit older, people tend to settle down in the area that they want to be in. But this whole lack of competition thing this isn't real, guys. I'm telling you, it's not. You definitely need to compete. You need to get out there and compete in the areas that women are looking for. And as on the same token, a woman should definitely be competing for your commitment. If she's not, then like this girl in the middle said, she's keeping her options open. Translation. She's not looking to settle down yet. She is having fun right now. Whatever you want to tell, whatever you think that means, leave a comment. Leave a comment as to what you think that actually means. Because she said it herself. She's keeping her options open. I know what I just heard, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about that, right?
No.
When you dealing
Sometimes
with like,
you're even working it out. It depends on the situation. Not all exes
I don't
fuck
know,
up.
like me, it's not a lot of girls like me. Like, I'm a real loyal person. So it's like my ex, he fucked up. And now it's just like he realized what he had. And I'm not trying to give him no chances. You feel me? But he's trying to like throw all this stuff in my face. You feel me?
Lure you back in.
To lure me
She
back
got
in.
hurt.
But he did that before. And I was
She's still loving.
blindfold, like blind of what he was doing behind my back.
To fool
Yeah.
you
So
once,
it's
so
like-
he can't fool you twice type of situation. Like,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really
She-
like
she's
somebody,
still in love with him.
No
communicate
ex
with
would
them.
spin the block
I'm not
with me.
competing.
It don't matter
with
how many
nobody's
people
daughter.
you
Like-
mess with. If you actually want to like have sex and do all the extra stuff, you should have communication with
So-
that person.
That
So let
part.
me,
And tell
let
them
me
where they
you said
stand.
you're not competing with nobody's
Hell
daughter,
no.
right?
Hell
So
no.
so again, it's a
Realistically,
guy that
of
y'all,
course, we're competing.
it's a guy that you vibing with.
If you have to
everything.
compete, it's no reason you should be wasting your time.
Yeah, but say it's a guy that you vibing with, everything is clicking on all cylinders, but he's telling you, hey, I am dating, seeing other women.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
you
saying.
would- you would-
Realistically, yeah,
you
you
would just-
are. You're competing regardless if a nigga's dating, he's dating the same way he's competing for me. Yes, but I'm saying like I'm not competing in a sense like he really really likes me, right? And he tells me he really really likes me, or maybe he want to settle down, whatever. But he just got this other girl lingering around. And let's say like an ex. I'm not competing. That's what I'm saying. Like if we are both like in agreement that like yo I'm fucking with you, you're fucking me, whatever, and we're taking things serious, but you still got another girl lingering around, that's when I'm not competing, because then
She's dating low-level dudes. That's what's going on there. She's never been with a guy who checks a bunch of her boxes. And truth be told, at her age, she may not know what that is. But rest assured, like I said, she don't want to settle down. Because if you meet a man who is looking for his wife and you looking to get married, you better be competing for him. Because that's all I'm going to tell you, man. Because most women want to get married. So if you find a man who is marriage-minded, he's serious about it, you better be competing for him. Because if not, that man, you find a good man, you better be competing for him. Because if not, that man's going to be gone. Too many times, I had another video about, you found your husband and you blew it. Because you're not out here competing for him, and it's only gonna be able to. It's only the good men that are, husbands. They're only gonna stick around for so long before it's like, okay, look, this chick is not trying to get married. She's not wife material. I'm gonna bounce. And then you look around a year later on social media, and all of a sudden you see that dude getting married, and you be like, yeah, you blew it. So I'm telling you.
then it's kind of like no, like we're not doing that.
So that means you just stop in all effort?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
because
definitely
there's a lack of communication.
Yeah, because if you express to me, it's only the stage. It's the stage that we're at. Because obviously in the beginning stage, we only went on like 2 or 3 dates, or whatever, and you're still dating other people, we both weighing our options. That's fine. But if we sit down and have an agreement, like yo, I'm fucking with you, and like I really want to see where this goes or whatever. But for whatever reason, you have somebody lingering around or an ex that's around. I'm not competing. because obviously you don't know what you want, and you're trying to keep me around, and I don't want that.
Well, if they tell you that they're not ready to commit, or you guys are still in a
then
dating
that's
process,
fine.
would
I
you
don't-
give them the time?
I will give them the time of day, but just know that I'm gonna also be looking around. So if
That-
I
that
happen
means
to see somebody else and they want to take me seriously and I'm ready to take them seriously, then you're out the
Or you
loop.
trying to guilt trip me?
I'm not guilt tripping you, but that's just the truth. That's the reality, because then if I'm
She definitely dating lower value guys, guys that are lower value than she is, because no guy worth his salt is gonna sit there and tolerate that. Is a guy who's serious, guy who's looking to be a husband, he gonna look at that as like, okay, you keeping your options open means I'm wasting my time. I need to go I need to find somebody else. He's just gonna say, nah, I'm good. And then they talked about that too. She mentioned that about guys. Whoa, you over there? Nah, I'm gonna fall back. That's exactly that's how you get to that same conversation about you found your husband, you already met your husband, and you blew it. If you want to get married, you need to start vetting guys immediately. Don't this whole dating thing. Dating is dumb. If you're trying to get married, that's a waste.
ready and you're not, then you got me hanging around, because who knows, you might pick her. Then what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, we're not doing that. If we establish that we fucking with each other and only fucking with each other, then that's what it is. I don't want to hear about Sarah, Samantha, and Caitlyn. No, bitch. Like, you're talking to me.
I don't know.
Like,
Nowadays,
all of
like,
that is clip.
Nowadays,
they
if
don't-
you
they
trying
don't
to
do
take
that.
somebody serious, you like to really know if they really fucking with you. Like, you need their Instagram password, you need code to the phone,
Hell
and
no.
you need location.
Oh, no,
You
no,
know,
no.
Location.
That's
I told y'all she tricked that last relationship. She needs some therapy. She's still hurt. And it's like, okay.
the guys
No,
you mess
hell
with.
no.
Respectfully.
No, no, no,
Yes.
no.
You
That's
know
the-
what
that's-
Beyonce
If,
said? I'd rather
if a
be
nigga fuck
blind.
with me, if we're gonna
I'd
fuck
rather
each
be
other
blind.
that
I
way,
don't-
we're
I don't
building
Hell no.
a career together and we're building everything together. Like, yes, we're we're partners.
Damaged goods. Guys, we're gonna leave it here because this talk is not going anywhere. These women, they're still in their prime. They're not looking for commitment, which means that they are looking for. We're gonna leave it there, guys. But ladies and gentlemen, I give you the modern woman. Modern woman in that age range. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They're in that phase. But look. I would say avoid women like this at all costs. If you out here looking for a wife, that neither of these women they haven't reached their maturity level yet. They still got all these options and they just out there having fun. So yeah, it is what it is. But look, guys, I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. But do me another favor, like and subscribe, but also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.